Alright, so here we go. I'm actually going to show you guys today a couple of things. First, I'm going to show you what happens when you try to go through border crossing, even in God mode. Cyberpunk 2077, and I'm actually trying to escape over into the area that you start out in the Nomad playthrough. It's still accessible. I'm not exactly sure if there's any legal way of getting over here, or any legitimate way of getting over here without using mods or a trainer on the PC version, which is what I'm using right now. That's how I'm in God mode. And as you can see, I'm trying a couple of things here. I tried running through, I tried killing everybody there, it doesn't work. I tried pretending I was border security, and you see how that went. So here we go. I'm actually trying another method that I saw by another YouTuber. I'm gonna actually either leave his name in the description, or I'm gonna edit his name back into the video, one of those. But a method that he tried was going along the border wall, climbing up on the side using some rocks that you find way down there, and you walk back over here. But from the looks of it, they may have patched that out with the most recent patch, because now I can't access it using just a double jump, and you used to be able to do that. Maybe you still can, and I'm just bad at it, but as you can see, I eventually had to just, you know, infinite jump my way over there using the trainer that I use, and it's called WeMod for you guys using PC. I'm actually showing a lot of my trip on the way. I'm going to show you guys a couple of things. I'm going back to this town. I believe it's called Yucca. This is where you start out in the Nomad playthrough. Sorry. And I skipped through my exploring through there, because anybody can start a Nomad playthrough and just explore that town for yourself. It's pretty much the same as it is when you first start the game. There's just no NPCs there. I take that back. There is one NPC there selling, well, he's not selling food, but he's making food. He was the only person I saw there. This area that I'm running over to now is actually not accessible from normal gameplay. There's usually a barrier here that stops you, but for some reason, none of the barriers out here that usually turn you back around work after you cross back over border crossing. So that's something interesting to note. And because of that, I'm able to just explore out here without really being interrupted. Here we have 3 houses. They're all pretty much empty inside. Well, they are empty inside. This is the only one that has any type of items in there, and as you can see, I can't really interact with them. I'm gonna look around the other houses, and I'm doing a lot of exploration here, mainly for the people that are watching that are playing on consoles, and they won't really have ways of accessing stuff like this, so their only real way of seeing it is by people on YouTube. So I'm just exploring the buildings for now, and this is, I can't even imagine what this is. I can only imagine maybe it's either cut content or some area that we will maybe have access to later on in the future. There seems to be a lot of places around the map that are like that. Here I'm trying to see if this ladder is accessible. I don't think it is, based on the way it's placed, but I tried it anyway. And then that's pretty much all there is to see here, so we're gonna skip out of here, go further down the road, and this is where it ends, not too much further past the town, and we're gonna go over that mountain, because our final destination is just over this mountain. I'm gonna skip the trip there. It's mostly just rocks and desert. I'll show you some of it, and this is me using the infinite jump just to give you guys a view of what's going on here. And it keeps giving me the athletic experience. So pretty much everything makes V trip, like just any type of collisions, and the falling animation is just so long, so I'm gonna skip over most of this part. I'm just gonna go through here just to give you a look, but it pretty much looks like this all around until you get to the edge, and then there's some water, and you just eventually fall through the stage. But you can actually traverse over all of these mountains that you see in the background. They're all solid. They're not, you don't fall through those until you get to the very edge. There's a lot of areas around this map that are like that. Most of the surrounding areas that you can't access normally are like that. As you can see, I'm at the top of this mountain, or well, mound of sand, I guess. I can't really tell if this is sand or what. I don't know. It's desert. And if you just look far over there, you're gonna see this building start to appear. Now this is what we're really here to see. This is the juicy stuff, because you need some sort of trainer to get over here. Even if you're able to legitimately get your way over here, like with just the base game on PC, or however you do it, you can't access this random floating building unless you have some sort of trainer, or unless you guys are just like some freaking physics masters who just know how to glitch your way up there. I don't know, so I use trainers. And the building itself is a school. As far as I know, there is nothing in the game that has that. In the 200 hours that I've played this game, no quest has taken me anywhere near a school. I haven't even thought of schools since I played this game, until I just randomly stumbled upon this. And I'm not the first. I hopped on the internet, and I'm not seeing a lot of people actually mention this. I don't know how well known this is. I looked on Reddit. I think I maybe saw like 1 or 2 posts about it, but they were just linking to videos, and the videos don't have a crazy amount of views. So I don't know if too many people know about this just yet. Now, there's this weird glowing wall here, and I have some speculation on that. I think I have reasons to believe that this area may have been part of a scripted event where we weren't able to look over here in these areas, and maybe that wall is just used for lighting purposes, and we probably weren't able to turn around. I'm just assuming. I really don't know. This could be cut content, future content, who knows. Notice how the music changes when we get up close to the school. I didn't do that. I didn't add that music in. It does that on its own, and that is by far the creepiest part of this. That music plays throughout the main area that you're walking in. This is what also gives me an idea that this may be scripted, because the second you step out of that particular zone, the music stops. And as you can see, I'm stepping over here to the side of the exteriors, which don't look as detailed, which also tells me that you're probably not supposed to be able to look over there. And we're gonna find some more interesting clues inside. Another theory I have is maybe this is the location of a brain dance, and when we get inside of the building, I'm gonna explain further why I think it could be that. I thought maybe, my initial thoughts when finding this were maybe this is a past event. Maybe this is some sort of, you know, something like V's past, him growing up, or, you know, him or her growing up, going to school, and this could have been like a flashback scene. But then I found something in the school that makes me think it may not be that, and now I'm starting to lean closer towards maybe this is a brain dance, especially with you'll see the way this entire area is shaped out, and how once you go off a certain path, you'll notice things become less detailed, and that again tells me that this had to have been some sort of scripted event, or it will be some sort of scripted event that we're probably just going to be led through. It's maybe a big cutscene for all we know, for all I know. And here's like the exterior, which you'll notice isn't as detailed. This again tells me that maybe we weren't supposed to be able to go over here and see that these trees are, you know, either floating or going through the ground, clipping through there. And I actually kind of like it when you can barely see Night City in the back. I actually like it when you can't see Night City in the background. I like to just... Night City is amazing, but I really love the desert in this game. Like, I don't know what it is. I really wish they would flesh out these areas, the Badlands, more. Because it just, it's so great. It's so, I don't know, it's just, it's my type of area. And here we have a courtyard, basketball court of sorts. I don't really know what to make of this part, because it's detailed enough to make me feel like that you could have come here, but then part of me also feels like it's meant to serve as a background for what we're looking at now, this cafeteria, which we will be entering in just a moment. So I'm actually going to show you guys how to get inside of the building, and I'm changing the light because it's a little bit easier to see. Got a call from Judy. I'm gonna leave that in there. I know you guys love Judy. Well, I know a lot of people love Judy. She's one of my favorites too. I'm more of a Pan Am guy.
Of course they will.
But so getting in here isn't as easy as it looks. You have to, from what I can tell anyway, unless you have some way of clipping through here, which I probably could do with mods, but my trainer doesn't allow me to do that. You gotta find like a particular spot just to clip through the walls and get into the school. Otherwise, as you can see, you're just gonna bump into these walls and it's not gonna let you go through. You can even climb on top, which I'm about to do. I'm gonna just explore. There's really nothing much up here, but I'm gonna explore it a little bit again for people who aren't able to access this area, just in case, you know, you're wondering what's going on up here. This is really all it is, just a bunch of lights above the hallways that you're able to access. And you'll notice that as I go to different areas, the music is fading in and out. Like, I feel as if it was a scripted event. You weren't supposed to be able to go. And I keep talking about it in past tense because I'm more so leaning towards cut content because there's just so much evidence of it in this game. But who knows? A lot of controversy surrounding the making of this game. I'm not gonna get into it. There's plenty of videos covering that stuff. I'm looking for more cooler stuff like this. So you're gonna see I'm gonna clip through a wall in this one corridor, and I'm just showing this part so you guys will have an idea of where you can clip, because I think some people have found it but don't realize that you can actually get inside of the school. Here you go. It gets so dark in these corners, and this is, again, I'm in there now. You may have been able to see me go through the wall. I know it gets super dark. It's gonna get super dark in these areas over here because, again, I don't think you were supposed to be able to walk over here. This is like background purpose, like super dark, so that tells me that this area, and based on the music, I don't know if this is supposed to be like a creepy flashback of sorts. Again, I was leaning towards brain dance, and once we get closer towards when we get to the cafeteria, in my opinion, one of the best pieces of evidence is in the cafeteria. Best pieces of evidence for this possibly being a brain dance is in the cafeteria. Well, actually, now that I think about it, I guess it may be evidence that it's not a brain dance, but I would have to look more into the lore. Something I always noticed, whenever I come over here, those two are always floating by together, and I don't know if you're supposed to just be able to see them from here, if that's supposed to be like part of the background aesthetics, but by the looks of it, by the looks of that wall and just how bad it looks, the lighting and everything going crazy there, I don't think you were supposed to look out of there at all. Even those two, I don't know what they're called, like freaking advertisement blimps or whatever, airships, I guess. Even those didn't, the way that they're flying around outside on my way up here, it doesn't even look like it was scripted. That's just the game being the game. And what I'm doing here is actually changing up my weapons. I'm trying to get some light in here to see if I can make out some of the details in this corner. I don't not doing a great job, but I don't think there's actually anything in that corner. And then here we're just checking out the details of the hallways, looking at what's on the lockers, trying to see if I can access any doors. No doors are accessible, so again, that's leaning more towards my theory of this not being, this being a scripted event. Here you see some writing there. I did not write this. I don't know if that's anywhere else in the game. I honestly don't pay too much attention to the graffiti and stuff, but once I'm in a new area like this, it makes you want to pay attention to just every little detail, because every little detail can be a hint. And you're gonna see in a moment something that I've been here a couple of times, but something that I actually didn't notice until my third time coming here. You'll see that in just a moment. Right now I'm just looking around again, just to kind of show it off to people who can't access this area. So I'm just giving them more detail so they're not wondering, hey, what's on that locker, what's on this part of the hallway. And the juicy area is right over here to our left. I'm gonna save that for last. And as you can see, it has a lot more details over there. Get a little preview of the cafeteria from this door. Yeah, pies, buffaloes, buck a slice. Kind of reminds me of my college. We have like a couple of restaurants in there. And over here we find like a trophy case. Can't really make out what it's in there. It's blurry. I don't know why they do that so much with the windows in this game. Like, so many blurry windows in this game. But they have the boxing gloves. I can see that. It looks like some sort of, I guess, a basketball there. The other one's just like generic trophies. Now, a lot of stuff that you see here on the walls are stuff that you see throughout the game regularly. You'll see like newspaper articles that it's actually kind of strange. They're like recent newspaper articles are the same ones that you see throughout the game, and those same set of papers with a bunch of different sayings and poems on them and stuff. There's like one that has like a list of I don't know, maybe virtues, it seems. Over there on the wall, yeah, some graffiti there. That's the only bit of graffiti that I saw. And then over here, as you can see, it's getting dark again. So, and based on the placement of this, these machines, it looks like this is a place that was meant to be seen but not accessed. And I'm thinking whatever set path we were on while walking through this, which again makes me lean more towards brain dance. I'm thinking whatever set path we were on, it was pretty much set. Everything is kind of lit up in a way where, you know, you're basically led down a path. Now, here's one of the more interesting things I didn't notice. I can see I'm being a bit more observant in this one, because when I first came here, I didn't look at any of the graffiti on the wall. I wasn't paying attention to any of that. I definitely didn't notice these two boards, and I don't know if we see these anywhere else in the game. So we have a pictures there, Einstein, and I'm gonna disappoint somebody, but I don't know who that lady is. Drop it in the comments if you know who she is. I'm going to assume she is a very smart woman. And then we just have pictures of people, random people, just appears to be using drugs, and it's a poster that's telling kids not to use drugs, because this is a school. And just see a bunch of random people. I don't know if this is official artwork that we can find in source books. I have to check my source books. Now, this poster to me is more interesting. So we have no guns in school. Never forget is at the top of this board. And the most interesting piece there, 2044. And the reason I say this is interesting is because up until I saw that date, I thought this may have been a flashback for V. But as far as I know, I want to say V was born in, I believe it was 2056, because V is only like 22, 23 by the time I'm 77. And this is evidence from, if you remember the old gameplay footage of the character customizations, you can actually see V's birthday there. I'm not sure if that information is outdated though. It could be for all I know. But one thing's for sure, V wasn't alive all the way back in 44. Now, because it's a never forget poster board, it could be something that happened a long time ago. Maybe they had some sort of incident. Because algorithms are kind of weird, I'm just gonna say it looks like they may have had some sort of fireworks at this school. And so maybe that poster is from a long time ago, kind of like how we say, you know, remember 9/11. That's over a decade ago. So it could be something like that. So this could still be a flashback of these, for all we know, for all I know. And maybe it explored some of V's childhood, which, you know, there's plenty of room in the game for that, because we really don't know anything about V before their life path. There's not really much information that we know. I think I personally haven't played through the Street Kid intro yet. I'll have to check, but I know that with the Corpo life path, you don't really get much information on what V was doing before that. I don't think you really get any information on what V was doing before then. At least with the Nomad playthrough, you know that V was part of the backers. That's the first thing you see. V had, I guess, just left the backers because V is ripping off their tag in the garage. That's all you know, though. You don't know anything about V's parents, V's family. V doesn't mention them. You know, V doesn't really talk about their backstory at all. So we don't really get that. And I'm actually just going through here and destroying stuff and trying to see what I can interact with and what I can't. But yeah, so this is just a really strange, creepy area. I don't know what to make of it. I'm really hoping that maybe we get access to it later on in the future. Or who knows, this could just be a brain dance. And maybe we were supposed to be able to investigate this like we do in the other parts of story mode. Or maybe this is something we were supposed to witness. Second, see all the objects. They're just like regular objects. You can interact with them. And that's pretty much that is everything that's in this school. And I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks again for watching, and if you like what you heard today, leave a like and maybe even subscribe for more content. I don't just plan on focusing on Cyberpunk, but for the time being, I think I definitely will. It's one of my favorite games right now, and honestly, just exploring the map and finding places like this has kind of become a pastime of mine. I think I'll share a few more places that I found in my next video, so you guys stay tuned for that. Until then, be safe, enjoy yourselves, and enjoy my photos. Bye.